Hey guys, good morning and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do a video about a lot of mistakes that I made that hopefully talking about them is going to help you avoid making them too. So this is the luxury items that you will regret buying in 2026. I definitely make this video from my own experience and the things that I've just purchased. Then a couple of weeks passed by and I ended up thinking, why did I even buy this? And you know, most of the time when I buy these things, I think about how pretty it is. I'm definitely mesmerized by sparkles. Maybe I am following some trends. Maybe I am not in the best mindset when I am making the purchase. So yeah, this is based on my own experiences, but of course, if you own any of these things, because I own many of this still, but I think I've learned a little bit from past mistakes and I know how to move forward. So the first category is very delicate pieces. There's many things that fall under this category, and this is the one that I think I have done the most because I am someone that loves suede. I love light suede. I'm gonna use this bag as an example of this, but I love suede shoes. I love anything that is crystals. My favorite leathers for any bag is always going to be the most delicate one. So I say this more like as a PSA because I've definitely ruined some items along the way because I just really like these things, and I've had definitely a few regrets. So what I mean by delicate is one accident and you basically have kind of ruined the piece. A good example is going to be light suede bags. This one, I don't consider it a mistake because I actually got it pre-loved. So this bag was an amazing price. It did come with its own wear and stains already. Mainly you can see them on the handle, and that was definitely reflected on the price, but I really love that about this bag because now I use it without really having to worry about it, because I do have another Bottega Veneta bag in this light gray suede that I'm always kind of tiptoeing around it because it is brand new, got it brand new from the store, and I just don't want to stain it. I don't want it to end up like this one. So there's this like really big contrast between the two bags in my head, where this one has already seen and have things done to it, so I don't mind it that much, and then there's the other one that is basically pristine and I just don't want to give it the first spot and the first stain. I've definitely avoided certain bags because they have, for example, satin handles. There was a beautiful Lady Dior that I loved so much, but it had white satin handles, and that is just a makeup stain wanting to happen because I'm gonna scratch my face and then I'm gonna grab the bag, and I know that that handle is gonna end up makeup or whatever else because I just don't want to tiptoe around my bags. I don't want to be worried all the time how I use them. I just really want to enjoy them, so I decided not to. I am also very much on the fence on this suede Birkin that was released for spring summer 2026. It's like this stunning sand color in suede, and my only worry are basically the handles because suede is delicate and that bag is a handheld bag and I don't want to put a twilly on that handle. So yes, I don't know if I would regret it. So you have the grizzly option that is basically the bag is half Swift, half suede, so I think that is a better way to go because then you have leather on the handles and not necessarily suede. I also have a pair of Loro suede summer walk charms. I completely ruined them, so I need to get them dyed, probably like in a dark chocolate color because they're stained all over the place. So yeah, definitely learned my lesson. Will not buy light suede shoes anymore. I would also include here scratch prone leathers if you're someone that wants your bags to look as pristine as possible for the longest time. I personally don't mind that much about scratches, but definitely I think it's something to take into consideration. They're really beautiful, especially when they're brand new, but if you're not looking for that like patina scratch character that the bag can evolve into, then I would definitely steer away from them. Same goes to super pale patent bags. Patent is something that I am very scared of, and I don't think you will ever see me buy because I feel like that can be stained so easily. I've seen so many patent bags on the resale market, like especially the lighter ones that just have like big yellow stains or super minor scratches just look so prominent on that leather. So yeah, I always try to avoid it, even though I feel like it gives such a beautiful character to the bag. I really like patent, but yeah, yes, I am definitely scared of it. And the problem is not really that these pieces are gonna get damaged, but that you're gonna avoid using them because you're scared to get them damaged. So if you're someone that doesn't care, then by all means, then do it, because they're usually the prettiest pieces out there. But if you're someone that is going to let this fear of staining and ruining the piece get a little bit too overwhelming, you're gonna have that bag, that pair of shoes, clothing just sitting on your closet, and it's going to become a regret. So something that you can do to tiptoe around this, and that I've been doing, is specifically for shoes, I go for darker suede, and I have quite a few dark suede bags that just have held up amazing. You can go for textured leathers, grained leathers, or you can do what I did and just buy it pre-loved, already stained, so you have less pressure and you just get to enjoy the bag. Because at the end of the day, yes, the handle is stained. Is the bag ruined? No. Do I still love it? Yes. So that was basically my way to go with lighter suede items. Category number 2 is going to be heavily branded clothing, handbags. I've done this one way too many times, and I know that right now logos are not necessarily into fashion, but they will eventually come back. But I definitely bought the Balenciaga jumper that just had Balenciaga all over it. I had a Dior set that was basically the Dior oblique. I really wanted to get a coat that was fully Louis Vuitton monogram. I had so many pairs of fully monogram shoes from Louis Vuitton, also from Dior. Like, I've definitely fallen for this, also jewelry pieces. And I think something that I have never really considered is that all of these pieces look really, really cool styled online, but on a day-to-day basis, you're kind of like a walking advertisement. You feel a little bit awkward. You don't really feel like you can wear them as many times as you may want because of the cost per wear. There's so many times of the week that you can wear a Balenciaga jumper without people thinking that you're just trying to push it, kind of. And I am not saying that logos are bad. I think it really depends on each and every single one of us and how we like to dress and our styles. Specifically for me, I realized that I love them. I love seeing pictures of people wearing them. I loved seeing them on me, but the moment that I was trying to style them and going out, I just didn't really love it. And more than anything, I think when this is a specific season drop, so there's certain pieces that I know specifically from the timeline that they were released, for some Chanel sweaters or Chanel jeans that just have these CCs, that I think that they're really, really cool. But I think the reasons why I personally ended up regretting it was that it dated faster than I thought. Like I'm already someone that buys things way later than when the trend kind of booms. I just wait a little bit. So by the time that I would get these pieces, they were already kind of fading out. And I'm really not someone that likes following trends. At the end of the day, I'm gonna buy things that I like and that I will enjoy using. But at the same time, when you buy pieces that are as heavily branded and that were such trendy eat pieces of a season, when they go out hard. It definitely limits your outfits, so you cannot wear it with as many pieces as you might like. You cannot wear it as many times as you might like, because it just feels like a little bit too much. And I've noticed that these pieces are not specifically the best when it comes to quality and price. You're paying a little bit more for the logo rather than the fabric and the quality. So what I've been doing to stay safe on this area is basically very minimal logos. I still love certain logos, and I am not someone that is going to be like, oh, I would never wear this because it has like the small Loewe logo or the small Louis Vuitton logo. Of course not, because I still love these brands. But I try to gravitate now towards the smaller branding when it comes to clothing, and specifically pieces that the design is basically the star and the logo is just something that kind of comes with it. So a really good example of this would be this beautiful Loewe jacket that I fell in love with. The draping, everything just screamed Loewe, and it definitely had the Loewe logo, but the jacket was just outstanding by itself, and I would get it if it was not Loewe. Number 3, I am so guilty of this one, is shoes that are beautiful but very painful. I have a closet full of stunning, beautiful heels that I've worn maximum once. I have a great example here. These are my Mac and Mac heels. I see them, I try them on, I am obsessed with them because I think they're absolutely stunning, and I have like this weakness for beautiful heels. But you can see the sole, like this have been barely used. As much as I wish that I was someone that could pull this off, at least for like a dinner that I could walk like 10 minutes back and forth, I just simply can't. especially because these ones have like this plastic right here. They're so painful, they're so uncomfortable, and I really love the way that they look. I also have stunning René Villas that I wish that I used more. I have so many pairs of Jimmy Choos that I also don't wear. I think the thing is that when you go to the store and you try them on, you're standing on a carpet for like 40 seconds and you think, okay, I can definitely do this. They're not painful, they're not uncomfortable. Maybe you walk 1 or 2 steps and you're like, beautiful, sold. And I've definitely felt like that girl. But the moment that I bring them home and I have a dinner or I have this or I have that, I just know that realistically I cannot really walk in them for long. So I just go for something else that I know that I will be able to use, like my Chanel sling bags or my lower heels. And it's so sad because they're so pretty, but I always end up regretting them. Like always, always, always. So yeah, the cost per wear becomes embarrassing. I always end up reaching for my comfortable staples, and resale is not always kind. I had the Jimmy Choo bow heels, they were stunning. I ended up selling them for basically nothing. It was really, really sad. So yeah, my best advice is that if you're not someone who can wear heels like this, if you can, honestly, I'm so jealous of you. I wish that I could. I can't. And this happens also with shoes that not necessarily have to be heels, but that they're really, really stiff leathers that you can just not break in. I end up never using them again. Number 4, micro trend eat bags. And I think this is going to be the biggest trap for 2026 because luxury handbags have been pushed like fast fashion during the past like 2 years. Like a bag goes viral on TikTok, it immediately sells out. They hike up the prices on the resale market. Everyone kind of wants the bag. You wait a few months and then nobody's talking about that bag and the next one is already here. A few signs on how I can tell that it's going to be a micro trend bag. You suddenly see this bag absolutely everywhere. A good example right now could be the Chanel Preppy Coco. Every major influencer, celebrity campaigns, you kind of see the bag. Number 2 is that the bag becomes impossible to get. Number 3, the bag becomes a uniform with certain aesthetic, like the mob wife handbag, the clean girl handbag. And number 4, and the most important, this is a bag that you didn't love initially, but after you saw it like 50 times, you started to want it. And listen, I am not judging. I've fallen for this so many times. Good example, the Chanel 25 bag. That bag ended up working out for me amazingly. I love the bag. I did take good time before I decided to buy it, but yeah, you would see it absolutely everywhere. And right now I can definitely see it dying down. And when I bought it, I wanted to make sure that I was doing it because I genuinely liked it and not because I wanted to kind of like join a club or an aesthetic because of how many pictures and videos I've seen of that bag. And the reasons why I think you're gonna regret buying the Eat bag if it doesn't really align with your style is because the cost per wear is going to be awful, because might not be the most practical bag for your lifestyle. When your taste returns like your own fashion sense, you're gonna be like, oh, I kind of fell for that. Like when the dopamine of finding the Eat bag wears off and you hit the reality that you spent thousands on a bag that maybe was not the best for you, and by the time that this happens, the trend has died down, the resale market drops, and you're gonna end up losing a lot of money, or you will be stuck with a bag that you actually don't really love. So a little test that I usually give myself before buying a handbag is, number 1, would you still want this bag if you would see nobody wearing it? Number 2, can you style it with at least 10 outfits that you own in your wardrobe? Does it work for your day-to-day life? It fits your phone, your keys, crossbody, top handle, whatever it is that you prefer, but that bag fits kind of into that. And 4, if you love it in a neutral color or any color and not just on the color that is trendy right now, because sometimes it happens with one specific design or color of this handbag and not the others. So yeah, I think that is a big warning sign that you're kind of falling just for the aesthetic and the pictures. Number 5 is dry clean and fussy clothing. And this one is like a 50-50 for me, because I understand that sometimes you're gonna own clothing pieces that you're not gonna be able to just dump into your washing machine and you're gonna need to take it to the dry cleaner. So then you never wanna wear them because you know that if you put a stain on them, it's either a game over or it's going to be super expensive. So you avoid using them. So the cost per wear goes down so bad. And what's painful is that this is usually the most beautiful stuff that you can see out there. And what I mean by very fussy is pieces that can only be dry cleaned and that are marked as delicate. Pieces that you cannot eat with, sit, travel, or just live without stressing when you're wearing them. They end up just becoming kind of like closet decor, or just pieces that you have for the novelty of having them. And every single time I see just certain runway pieces that I fall in love with, that I know that I would love to use, I just know that I'm gonna use them a couple of times and I'm gonna be so scared while using them. So yeah, if you're someone that wants to avoid dry cleaning and that expense, possibly ruining the piece by a simple mistake, maybe you drop some coffee on it, maybe it started raining or someone splashed anything on you, then I would avoid buying these pieces, because I've definitely learned my mistakes by ruining some of them and it's really painful. Okay, this one is actually something that I've not done. I understand that for some people this would not really be a problem, but number 6 for me is luxury activewear, sportswear that actually doesn't perform. I see this as the modern luxury scam, because with activewear it's one of those where you cannot really fake it or baby these items. A bag you can baby, a coat you can kind of baby, but an activewear piece, you're gonna sweat, you're gonna fall, you're gonna stain it, you're gonna have to wash it constantly. The quality is gonna end up showing up if the piece is not that good. I also say this, for example, with ski clothing. Sometimes it's just not the best, and I've ripped a couple of my pieces, I've ruined so many of my pieces. So I see them, I like them, and I like, of course I would love to own a Dior ski suit, but at the same time, when I am doing sports and when it comes specifically to skiing that I fall so much, I just don't want to be worried about what I'm wearing and how expensive it is. I want something that is going to keep me warm, that is going to be functional, that is gonna allow me to move, and yes, I want to look good, but I don't want to own something that I'm going to be so worried while I'm already trying to do a sport. And same goes to Pilates clothing, leggings, anything that has this insane price tag that you're going to end up putting in the washing machine. I would simply not go for it. Number 7, and I am guilty of this one, and it's going to be overpriced basics. Exhibit number 1, and I have it in more colors. This is not the only one that I have, and honestly I really love it, but do I think it's worth it? Absolutely not worth it. You kind of see it as a chic investment, but in reality it's not. You're just paying for the logo. You can definitely buy a wide ribbed tank top that is not Loewe, that is going to give you the same. And to be fair, I really love the Loewe logo, so that's why I did it, and I also got it on a sale. The sale is really important to mention because I don't think I would have done it if it was not on a sale. But I'm also talking about Miu Miu basics, underwear, Gucci tank tops. In my opinion, a basic needs to be either unbelievably flattering or such an amazing quality that is going to last you for so many years. And if this piece is neither of them, then just avoid it. These are also the easiest pieces to dupe unintentionally, so you're gonna definitely see them absolutely everywhere. And the cost per wear can still be bad because, again, because you have a logo on it, you feel like you cannot overuse them, same as you would do like with a basic white t-shirt, because it will look like it's the only thing that you own. Also, you don't want to overuse it because you don't want to stretch it, you don't want it to look worn off. You just keep like kind of saving them, because even though you bought it as a basic, you are using it more as a novelty piece. Next one is a handbag with a fussy closure that is going to annoy you. And what's sad about this one is that it's something that you're never going to completely understand until you have owned the bag for quite a bit. Because when you see these bags at the store, you are standing calmly, you have your 2 hands free, you're opening the bag, you're inspecting it, you're not really running and trying to open it with one hand, trying to get your things out of the bag. You're not rushing, you're not holding your phone, you literally have all the time in the world to open and just see the bag as this beautiful, amazing thing. But sometimes in reality, and this happens to me a lot with the Kelly, especially the Kelly 25, because I am someone who likes the Birkin more than the Kelly, just because the Birkin is open and I can just do this and take my things out. When it comes to the Kelly, I need to open. I never end up fully closing the bag. I just put the flap on top, and the little hands, I never touch them. They are always open. And I get people stopping me all the time just telling me that my bag is open, and I'm like, yeah, that's on purpose, because I just hate having to fully open the bag. Also, any bag that has like really stiff flaps. It's really annoying to take things in and out. Tiny clasps that you kind of have to pinch to be able to open. There are some bags that have magnetic closures that are too weak, so the bag sometimes just pops open, and that is really annoying too. Drawstring bags drive me crazy. My Chanel 25, I always have it pretty much open because I don't like having to open and close the bag. And more than anything, bags that require two hands to open and close. So my little trick for this is that now when I go to the stores, I put the bag on and I try to open and close it with one hand. I check the zipper if it's good. I check if they fit what I need. And yeah, I just try to test how in real life it would feel taking my things in and out, and they're gonna let you put your things inside of the bag if you ask at the store. Definitely recommend you to try that because yeah, it is definitely a deal breaker for me after a while when I just feel like it's such a hassle to open and close the bag every single time that I need something. Number 9 is luxury home accessories, and I'm also very guilty of this. As you guys can see, I'm no longer using my Hermes Avalon pillows, and now I have these ones. They're actually from Sarah Home, and I am way calmer around them because my dogs are always on the sofa and they're definitely going to sometimes lay their heads on them, run around, and if they end up sitting them, I'm just going to put them on the washing machine. And this category is really tempting because it feels like adult luxury. It is definitely something that is an achievement for me. When I moved to this apartment, I was like, definitely want the Hermes blanket, I want the pillows. You're not buying another bag, you're investing in your home, in your space, in your lifestyle. But I feel like now some brands are pushing home decor like they do with handbags, and it's more about trends, aesthetics, and something is going to become outdated and it's not going to be as timeless as you wish that it looked. And also sometimes it could be a little bit too saturated, and this can fall into many categories like diffusers and candles that are super expensive, blankets, cushions, branded coffee table books. Also very guilty of that. I have literally 2 in front of me right now. Ceramics, vases, glassware. Also luxury stuff for the kitchen that looks beautiful but it's not really that practical. And again, some of these pieces are absolutely gorgeous, but on a day-to-day usage they're not the best. So I am trying to avoid them now. And I think this is one of the easiest categories to just impulse buy, because it is usually cheaper than a bag, and you tell yourself that this is an investment for your home, that you're gonna use it for decades, that it is worth it. But the truth is that the quality doesn't always match the price, and they don't really feel personal after a while. I am really specific about the things that I like for my house, and I've realized that I just have a really specific taste that did not really align with some things that I thought that I really loved and I no longer do anymore. And the last one is special occasion pieces that you're never going to actually wear. This is probably the most common category because it is the easiest one to romanticize. You buy an item for your future life, for dinners, for a wedding that you're not yet invited to, for a dream vacation that you still have not planned, or just for moments where you're gonna be photographed and you're gonna feel amazing but not really suitable for your day-to-day life. So then the piece just sits there untouched and sometimes with the tag still attached. I would say with this it can be statement heels, dramatic mini handbags, gowns, or very specifically dresses. This is something that I do quite a lot, to be completely honest. Anything super embellished or just very dramatic or very formal. And I think this is something that you can regret because you don't live the life that the item requires. And I'm not saying this in a sad way, just in a realistic way. Most of us don't really have red carpets and just occasions to wear like full gowns. I'm trying to work on the idea that we should be able to just wear these things for dinners, but this is something that you really need to implement into your lifestyle. And if you're committed to buy a dress and try your best to wear it for special occasions, then I would say yes, absolutely go for it. But if you cannot guarantee yourself that you're gonna do that, I would definitely steer away from it. Also, this is for pieces that don't really have much rewear potential. Every single time that I think about buying ready to wear or these types of bags, I try to consider the fact that I'm gonna be able to wear them time and time again and not just for one specific occasion, because it's a lot of money to just wear one time and then put it on a shelf and have to sell, or just have it there forever and ever collecting dust. So the research part for this category would be to think if you can wear this thing at least in 3 different ways. Can you wear it in a day and night context? Can you wear it with flats or lower heels? Does it work with pieces that you already own, or do you need to change basically your entire wardrobe around this specific piece? And if you have at least 2 real events that you're going to attend where you can take this piece to. So if you can work around all of this, then I would say yes. If not, I would try to avoid it, because you're gonna end up having something really expensive just sitting in your closet. So these were my 10 categories of things that most people would regret buying in 2026. But I would love to hear you guys out in the comments. Have you fallen for any of this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that I missed anything? I would love to chat in the comment section down below. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and click the notification bell down below so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you're not done watching, I'm gonna leave you 2 right here in case you wanna check them out. Thank you, and see you on the next one. Bye!